Hello and welcome. It's Thursday at noon and this is Lunch Break Live with Connie Douglas. I'm from Great Stamping with Connie and we're in the craft studio to do some crafting and celebrate all things paper crafting because we can and we love it, so why not celebrate it? Each week I come to you with a card that is fun and fairly easy to make, not a lot of die cutting or embossing, those sorts of things, but great layouts, fun cards, and paper crafting. Let's celebrate. So I am just going to flip this down and we can get ready. So just give me a moment here. There we go. Get it to flip and I will get it set up here. You know me and technology, this always takes me a moment. Get that into place. That wasn't too painful today, at least not so far. We'll see how it goes. Yes, sometimes it goes a little better than other times. So this is lunch. Okay, so today, as you can see, we have this adorable penguin card going on, and we will get to making that in just a moment or two. We are using the stamp set from Penguin Place, and this is a really cute stamp set that is in the fall mini catalog, and it is in fact a bundle. It comes with the penguin punch, which looks a little bit odd when you first see it. It took me a little while to kind of figure out exactly what this piece was, but this is actually for the inside of his body if you want to punch double layer. So this is the whole penguin, and then this piece becomes what is this part of the penguin right here. So seemed a little bit odd, and I'm sure there are some creative people out there that could find lots of different things to do with that shape. It's kind of a generic shape, so the possibilities, of course, are endless when you're crafting. So just before we get started on the crafting, I want to remind everyone that today is the last day of the seasonal sale. So if you have not taken advantage of the savings that are out there just yet, you want to do that today for sure. You can save 10% on cardstock, 15% on ink pads, and 20% on dies. These are all items from the annual catalog. The fall mini catalog is not included in this sale, but there are some awesome savings to be had in the annual catalog. Cardstock and ink, I don't know if you're on my mailing list, perhaps you saw the email that I sent this morning. Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. Oh, to die for. Oh, look at that. Today's color palette. Who knew? If you have been following me at all, you know that I love these two colors, and I love them together. They are so awesome. They're fantastic for Christmas, but these are just great colors for crafting. Reminds me of nature and forest, and oh my, I love these colors, and I do love them together. So we will be using those today, but this is a great time to add the ink and some of that cardstock to your stash if you don't have them yet. There's also some awesome dies. So these are the layering circle dies. They are a standard and a basic and belong in every craft room. So if you don't have those, this is the time. Stitched rectangles, that's another one that is it's got all sorts of layered rectangles, so it too is awesome. And then there is Stitched So Sweetly, and it has these lovely scalloped edge rectangles that are, they give you lots of layers of those, and then some additional shapes for different layering and crafting. So those are just three, there's lots, but those are just 3 dies in the annual catalog that I would strongly recommend. If you don't have them, they are basics and you will use those a lot in your crafting. So now is the time to pick those up because you can get them for 20% off, but only today. And I have heard that some of the dies and some of the cardstock have gone into back order. If they're in back order, you can still order them, but there is a threshold where Stampin' Up! Will actually turn the product codes off and they will not be orderable because they don't want to get too far behind on their supplies. So don't wait. Go in and get your order done right away, and then you can fill up on some great savings and on some great products. Okay, time for some crafting. So, as I mentioned, we are using Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen for our card today. This is just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to fold that and bring in my bone folder and give that a really nice crease. Okay, we are also using the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. This is one of the patterns. You'll notice on this card I used one. Today I'm using a little different one, just to change things up a little bit. So this piece is 1.5 by 5 1/4. And that is going to get mounted on our Evening Evergreen piece, which is 5 1/4 by 4. So I am just going to bring in my Stampin' Seal here and get some adhesive on there. So there's lots going on at Stampin' Up! Right now. We have seen the new January to June mini catalog, and we're all getting excited about that. But you have to wait until January, unless, of course, you want to sign on as a demonstrator. So I'm just going to put this down near the bottom. I'm using my grid paper to sort of guide me to get it straight, and I've gone 1/4 of an inch up, and I'm not getting it straight. There we go. That's a little bit better. And I'll give that a push. So yes, if you would like to not only see the new mini catalog, but also take advantage of ordering from it, you can do that if you are a demonstrator. So here is my white piece of cardstock. This is basic white, and it is 2.5 by 4.5. So just a little bit different sizing on this today, just for some interest. So I am going to bring in some of my stamps. Here is my Snow Bank stamp, and I will use that. And I am using, I'm going to put this card to the side for now. I'm using Memento black ink to stamp this. Whoops, I always put the dirty side up for you guys. I really should change the paper on that, but I never think of it until I'm doing these, and of course this is not a good time to be changing the paper on that in the middle of crafting. So there's no right or wrong place to put this, and you can angle it however you like. I am just going to plunk it down about like that. And it does run off the edges a little bit, but that's exactly how we wanted it. Okay. Now, I'm also going to bring in my little penguin who is sliding down the hill, and I'm also stamping him with Memento black ink. And we're just going to have him coming down the hill. He's headed towards his friend who is going to sit on the bottom there. Okay, so that's it for the black ink. We will get that closed up, set that aside. And I'm just going to get these stamps cleaned up so we don't make a mess anywhere. This is the Stampin' Chamois. It's awesome for quick cleanup. So if you don't have one of these, that could be something else that you order today when you take advantage of the sales. That's not on sale, but it's not overly expensive either, and it will clean your stamps beautifully and help them to last for many years. Hey, I just have a scrap of basic white here, and I'm going to use that to stamp the other penguin. I'm stamping this penguin with Cherry Cobbler. My first card, I had used real red because the designer series paper piece that I used was just soft succulent and evening evergreen. But today's paper has some Cherry Cobbler in it, so I want to use Cherry Cobbler ink instead of real red ink. Okay, and we're going to give her some feet. This stamp set, oh, let me just get those stamped because I can't stamp and talk and make sense and think all at once. So the stamp set, we use these 2 feet together. There are also single feet if you want to stamp some feet and punch them, because there are feet in the punch. You can just stamp them individually and then you can space them out a little bit so that you can punch them out. But we're just stamping them for today. While I have my Cherry Cobbler ink out, I am also going to add my sentiment to this. I'm just going to put it down in the snow hill here. Hopefully that bit of red ink does not get on my paper. No, we're okay. Whew. Otherwise, you know, that's where the gems go. But now we have choice. Okay, so that's it for the Cherry Cobbler ink. Oh, again, just give me a moment. I'm going to get these things cleaned up so we don't have Cherry Cobbler ink anywhere that we don't want it. This Stampin' Chamois is just moistened with water. You can also add some Stampin' Mist, and then it will condition your stamps as well. Either way, they will get beautifully cleaned. So you noticed I stamped my penguin near the top, and that's because he goes into the punch this way. But my paper's a little bit short, so here's a trick. In case you haven't seen this, if your paper is a little short and hard to manipulate in your punch, just grab a Post-it note, stick it on the side, and then you have a lovely handle that you can use to get your perfect placement in your punch. Okay. There we go. Pieces of penguin flying everywhere. So we actually punched out one of the feet, but we're not going to use that today. Not for this card. So there's my penguin. Whoops, I forgot to give I forgot to give her the scarf and him the hat, as I had done previously. So we are going to bring in the soft succulent ink. And we're just going to put a scarf on her so she stays warm out in the snow. The scarf will hang over the edge, but that's fine. It will be around her neck. There we go. And we'll give this little guy will get a toque to keep him warm. This is Evening Evergreen ink. We'll just give him a hat. There we go. So he will stay warm. There's lots of cute little embellishment stamps in this set. We use the toque and the scarf, but there's also antlers and a bow tie And then there's all these other little bits. There's, oh, a beak. I don't think I ever noticed the beak before. I think it's a beak. Looks like a beak. Well, we're just going to leave this guy like this. Or shall we give it a try? Give it a try? What the heck? Let's give it a try. The things you find when you're live. Now, I can't quite tell which one is the beak piece. This one, I think. Oh my. Oh, this is very, very tiny. A little bit hard to see, but that's okay. We can do it. What the heck? We're only live. If I mess up, it's the punched out one, so I can start again. Okay, back to the cherry cobbler. Just ink that up a little bit. And we're just going to put that right down near the scarf. Oh, I think this is going to work really well. Yes! Look at that. Probably could have been a little bit higher. But anyway, there it is. It's on there for now. I may have to go back and add that to my other card because I like the way that looks. Okay. So there's those two pieces, and we are ready to put this white piece onto our card. So this one, actually, I'll set that aside, get some adhesive on here. Okay. And again, I am going to use my grid paper, and so this is going to line up 1/4 inch down and into the center of the card base. There we go. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's just kind of sort of in the neighborhood. And now I have some soft, succulent open weave ribbon. And I'm going to use this just to go around and wrap around to the back of this piece. So I'm just going to snip this off here. And I also tied another strip. I did a little bit of a kind of cheater bow knot accessory on this, just to add a little extra to the flat ribbon rather than tying a bow. I thought a bow might be a little awkward, or maybe I was just feeling bow lazy when I made that card. But I just tied this in a little knot around here. And if you pull it flat against your ribbon, your ends will kind of stay in line with the ribbon. Okay? And you can always play with it with some glue dots afterwards. Glue dots save the day on everything. But now we just have some little strips. I might have to put a little glue dot under that. I think I tied it a little bit backwards. It's curving around the other way. But I'm just going to put a glue dot on the back of this for now, behind where I did that knot. And then it can sit right down there. So it's held on. You flip it over, and I will put some adhesive on the back, roughly where I want it to come around. And then when I fold it under, it will be held in place. Just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to leave those ends for now, and we'll see when the card is finished if it needs. It's really curling. Perhaps if I moisten it, it will come down. I'm not sure why it's curling up quite so much, but anyway. Okay, I think I am going to now put this onto my card base. So some more adhesive on here. There we go. And our little girl penguin here, we're going to pop her up with some dimensionals. Why, she gets lost on that card, doesn't she? Okay. Get the backs off of this, and she'll be ready to go on. And she's just sitting down at the bottom of the snow. She is hanging off the edge a little bit, and that's okay. That was kind of how I had planned that as well. Now, you may recall we had some really lovely gems on this card. These are the red rhinestone basic jewels, but of course this card was cherry cobbler, so the red rhinestones won't work really well, but we can fix that. We are crafters, we can do anything. So these are the clear rhinestones, and look, Stampin' Blends. Our alcohol markers are perfect for coloring rhinestones. Something tells me that one might not be too sticky. In any color you want. So look at that. Instantly, we have 3 cherry cobbler rhinestones. So you can use these clear rhinestones and make any color gems you want. No excuses for not being color coordinated anymore. I'm just going to put these right up onto here. Look at that. They match beautifully. Oh, they're so rich looking. Not sure if you can tell that from on camera or not, but they are indeed. So there we have it. That is today's card. It is very similar to the sample, just a little different in the reds. Maybe if I do it this way, no, I think it will show this way. So we have cherry cobbler on this one to pick up the cherry cobbler in the designer series paper, and this one was real red because the designer series paper was just soft succulent and evening evergreen. So those are the cards. I hope you like them. The designer series paper again is the Tidings of Christmas. It is available in the annual catalog, and if you're looking for it, that's where you will find it. And we used the Penguin Place stamp set and coordinating penguin builder punch. So those were the main things that we used today in our crafting. Now I did mention that the new catalog, the January to June mini catalog, is coming in the new year, and you could see it and order from it very, very soon if you were a demonstrator. So just to make life even easier to get that info and catalog to you, Stampin' Up! Has a sale on the starter kit right now. Normally the starter kit is $135, but right now it is on sale for just $100. So that's a $35 savings right there. You always get $165 worth of product. I'm just moving that because that glare might be something that you'd rather not look at. Sorry, so you get $165 worth of product in your starter kit, and that's any product at all, anything you would like to choose. There's no rules. It's completely customizable. So you get $165 worth of product. You pay just $100 for that. It is shipped to you free of charge. So it's an awesome deal. It is the best deal going. And then you also get to be a part of the Great Stamping Believers team, and I would love to have you join us. So don't wait. Join now. Join today, because if you join today, you get the kit, the starter kit, for just $100. But products that you buy, if you buy any of the stamps, cardstock, or dies from the annual catalog, they're on sale. It's kind of double dipping on a great deal. But do it! So join now. Join my team. Love to have you. And I will welcome you to our team, and you can join all the fun that we have crafting together and creating and sharing. And you won't have to just watch the Facebook Lives. You can be on the team. that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like our cute little penguin cards and that you give it a try. Don't forget the seasonal sale. Today is the last day. I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now, everyone.